Sup, my name is Ray for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, and these are the cards you should be considering playing right now. Right now! If you're not playing them, well, maybe you'll give it a second chance. And we will be doing this post every single set. And I meant to have this out last week, but I wasn't on a great schedule like I am this week. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run down these cards, and then next week, or no, I should say the week after, when we get a little more time to digest the neck cloths, we'll be looking at a few cards that will help you in those matchups. These are some cards for your main deck and your side deck that you should be considering playing. Now, Snatch Steal is pretty much a win more card, so main deck the fuck out of it. If you're not ready and you don't believe the hype, believe the hype. The time is done. This card is so good right now. If you're not playing it, you're probably on the receiving end of it, and that's not a good thing to be on. And I know it pretty much goes without saying to run Snatch Steal right now, but I'm still going to mention it because I feel it needs to be said because not enough people are still believing the hype. Every single deck can play this except for a few. Lightsworn, Exodia, things of that sort. Things that are going to mill it off too much, or kind of the exception. Hell, I'd probably even play it in fucking Lightsworn at this point. Raigeki, move this to your side deck. It's not that great in the main deck because too many things either float or they don't care that you blew up their field. Congratulations. It's the same problem we had with Dark Hole. It's balanced now. Excuse me. Now, it's great, don't get me wrong. It's great for breaking that Vanity's Emptiness, but what happens when you get a monster that either A, floats, or B, can't be destroyed by card effects, or C, your opponent has something for it, which is the next card we're going to be talking about. This is great, though, for getting over Dark Law, so if your locals is combusted with, just like, I just want to say combusted, if it's filled to the max with just hero decks, play Raigeki and Dark Hole because they will help you get over that. But the one thing I also want to talk about the hero matchup, which is fucking hilarious, is the Huge Revolution is over. I feel this is a card that not a lot of people know about, and it's just one we'll take a minute or two to talk about. Well, what would happen if you couldn't Vanity's Emptiness to Starlight Road? Now, the reason you can is because it special summons a monster. What would happen if you have to, if you can't trap stun it, and you can only wiretap it? Well, that's a Huge Revolution is over. It doesn't special a monster, but when a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect is activated, it destroys 2 or more cards on the field, just like Starlight Road. You negate the activation of that effect, and you banish it. So if you use this in something like, I don't know, uses something like Acid that is very popular right now. You'll see it coming out of Mermels. You'll see it coming out of the hero deck. You'll see it every which way. This is going to say, you know what, fuck you can't have that. I'm going to banish your card out. And then they can't use Acid and they lose that advantage. This also works against JDs. I mean, I know Lightsworn is still always popular like ever. This works against a card's attack. This works against a just huge amount of things, right? Geki, Dark Hole. There's not tons and tons and tons of matchups, but again, if your locals is one of those locals that is just filled to the brink with stuff that people are just, main decking or being cool with, I guess is the way to phrase that, then this is definitely one that you want to be on the lookout to play for. This is just, it's a dollar card from Order of Chaos, is underappreciated. My Body of Swag is dope as hell, and as much as I love Asian Eyes, I still think the Huge Revolution is over is a much better card, only for the fact it doesn't take out any life points. It just has to be 2 or more cards on the field. It's a counter trap card, so there are not that many options that people are main decking, so you'll catch them by surprise. And being able to banish out a freaking Mask Hero Acid is stealing momentum away from your opponent. But Ryu, what if it isn't that Mask Hero Acid? But what about if it's JD? Banishing out of JD is banishing out a 3,000 threat. And by banishing out that 3,000 threat, it's no more of an issue. But you're probably sitting here saying to me, well, okay, we talked about how to deal with JD Acid, and you talked about how to deal with Dark Law. But what about everything else I'm having a problem with? Well, that's why I'm going to ask you guys at this point in time in the video, if there's something that you guys are having a problem with, I will make a special one of these, the cards you should be considering playing for your locals or wherever the case may be, but this is just a general thing. And I know volcanics are popular and they're not going to be affected by the Huge Revolution's over. They are affected, however, by Stardust, so I'm just going to mention Stardust in that case. Now, Forbidden Lance, this is also another one you should be main decking. And the reason you should be main decking it is for the same reason if your locals or wherever you go to play Yu-Gi-Oh, your friends, whatever, are playing heroes, this works great against them. I'm going to break that down for you right freaking now. Basically, what you want to do They're gonna change that. They're gonna chain the mass change. Now, on the activation of mass change, being chain link 1, you want to chain the Forbidden Lance as chain link 2, meaning that chain link 2 will resolve first, so that way the hero cannot be affected by mass change. This can also work against those mermals that want to drop acid, so this is one that you definitely want to consider. It also lowers a monster by 800, so you can lower Dark Law to the point that, well, anything that has about 1600 attack points can destroy it. You can combine that with something like Deco Sekka and easily get over it. So if your deck would be stopped by something like that, that's something you want to consider. This is also another one. This and Kaiku, Imperial Iron Wall. Intoroids, if they still keep their popularity, this is one you want to still keep in your side deck. Otherwise, get ready to take it out. Now, keep in mind, they may just come back out of nowhere. So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Now I'm going to mention 2 cards that will be mentioned and featured on Stock Market, which will be out either before or after this video. So let me just make that very clear one more time. These 2 videos are these 2 cards are separate, and they are upcoming for Netcloths and will be featured in the next video. Night Beam is something that you're going to see being played a hell of a lot more because, well, let's break it down. It does have a reprint Battle Pack 3. It does have one ultra rare print. But the reason it's going to see that price jump is because of the fact that Netcloths don't play much back row. So if you're going to play Netcloths, you pretty much want to consider running 3 Night Beam. That's pretty much why the price is rising right now, from at least what I can attest. It's either that or it somehow helps against Volcanics, which I doubt it. And then we have Lowville Chain. This is also another great card that's going to be seeing play. So we'll be talking about ways to counter both of these cards. Now, honorable mention is Fiendish Chain because it also helps against Dark Law. Keep in mind, the Huge Revolution's over, helps with Acid. Keep in mind, Raigeki and Snatch Steal both help with Dark Law. These are very crucial cards for that hero matchup. Now, if you're having a problem with a certain deck, let me know so I can make a guide to your side, which we're still doing, and there's maybe one this weekend. I'm not fully sure, because I know I gotta still do one on Heroes. But anyway, I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoyed this content, and you've never been subscribed, or you just found this channel, or you saw us back in the past, and you said, well, I'm not liking our content anymore, give us a second chance, and we will prove you wrong. Trust me, I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Enjoy your day. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later on Stock Market, where we run down the prices of the cards. I'll see you then. Peace.